Nathan Burnett, graduation video, take one. My mom was a single mom, a single parent. Brothers and sisters. Just played and had fun, and there was no stress, there was no worries, there was none of that. I grew up, I want to say, kind of sheltered. My mom kept me away from certain areas where there was drugs. I knew about drugs, but I didn't know about drugs, if you know what I'm saying. It wasn't a part of my everyday life. It was go to school, come home, do homework, clean the house, play with my cousins, repeat. After college, my mid-30s is when I started experimenting with drugs. I was drunk with a friend, and I was upstairs passed out in the bedroom, and she comes up and she goes, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I'm drugged. I can't move. I can't do anything." She's like, "Well, we need to go." I'm like, "I can't drive." She's like, "All right, well, come in the bathroom. I got something for you." That's the first time it was cocaine. That's the first time I've tried it, and I did a line of it, and I instantly woke up. Boom. I was like, "Oh, man, let's go." And from that point on, it started with cocaine. I did meth when I thought it was cocaine, and that's how I got involved with meth, because it was an instant, and it was all downhill from there. I was losing weight, and people were noticing it, and I was noticing it, and I just like, my clothes wouldn't fit. I would drop down to a 34 or 33 size pants, and I'm just like, wow, what's really going on? And my kids are looking a hot mess, and I'm just like, I gotta do something. Before this, I run through the woods for 8 hours, like just sprinting through the woods. I mean, I'm high off of meth. I swallow like an 8-ball, and I'm literally jumping fences. I'm in people's houses, and I'm running from these cops that I thought were chasing me. There was no cops. It was just me running. When I finally got arrested, I had an orange poncho on, black sweatpants, and no shoes, and just out in the middle of nowhere. When they took me in, I had no phone, I had nothing. And I called someone, and I asked him if he could call the job where the mother of my children was working, and he actually did. And it was just a crazy story that I didn't know who he was. I didn't have no phone numbers. I had nothing. So it was just one of those things that I think that's when I really realized I've lost everything, and I realized that who God really was, because he actually called, and they found out where I was at in jail. And I remember sitting in that cell by myself. I'm like, all right, guys, you can have it. Whatever I need to do, you can have it. And a week later, I was at A Better Way. So I get here, they're dressing me out, putting me in regular clothes. And then Sir Phil comes to me and says, you might not be able to stay here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I kind of go outside, and I'm on the porch, just kind of looking around. Like, man, Lord, why would you bring me this far? Show me what I could have, and then be like, nah, you got to go back to Cobb County. He was like, don't worry about it. We're going to get it taken care of. You're already here. We're not going to just send you away. We're not going to just kick you off our doorstep like that. You've come so far. And it was my first relief of, like, just that weight was pulled off my shoulders, because it was so heavy. Like, you get a bad taste in your mouth when you feel something heavy like that. But it was pulled off my shoulders, and as I'm walking down that long dirt road with these little baby shorts on, and the little shirt that was too small for me, it was still just a sigh of relief that I'm like, yeah. I'm just looking around like, this is awesome. Look at all the land and the grass out here. And then 24 hours later, I'm out there sweating with a hat and a towel on my head, cutting all this grass that I just said it was awesome, cursing myself out like, yeah, this is what you wanted, so guess what? Go ahead and cut that grass. A lot of my first initial motivation was finish this or go to prison. So, I mean, you pick. I knew in the back of my mind that if I had issues here and I left off that campus, I might just go ahead and go right on to Jackson. To be honest, I accepted it when I started to journal. It became a more intriguing thing, like, oh, I wonder what the word's gonna say to me today. Oh, how's my life gonna line up with it? So I'm turning pages and writing like, oh man, I did this and the other. So it became a hurry up and get to devotion. My biggest thing was patience. I can't stand to wait. I don't like to wait. So them telling me, yeah, you gotta sit down for 18 months. When you're in jail, you're like, oh, let's go, run that. But when you're here, you're like, no, it's time to go. I'm about to run that. No. So it's completely the opposite when you're actually in what you asked for. So that's another thing. Be careful what you ask God for, because he'll give it to you. I look at it as, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be here right this second because I didn't pick that drug up. If I didn't pick that drug up, I wouldn't be recovered and healthy and getting my kids back in my life. Maybe if I had put that drug down, I might have been in prison. I was always trying to figure out how to be a better dad while I was on the drugs. And I wanted them to be more in my life, but I didn't realize the drugs was what I needed to stop. Once I went to jail and came here, they started to see Dad grow up. They started to see Dad in the ministry, and then they started seeing Dad praying, and they started talking more about prayer and what is it and how is it and why is it, things like that. So God has definitely allowed me to become the father that I've always wanted to be, and I just couldn't figure out how. You was out there messing up. Come sit down with us. Get your life together. And they gave me a job. They gave me accountability. They gave me brothers I can love, which I've always wanted, a group of men to just like, bro, what you going through? And I got to talk to everybody. I call everybody. I'm like, hey, what's up? How y'all doing? So I will always say hats off for A Better Way for that. You don't have to come from a gangster, hood, trap house, the ghetto, bad surroundings. You don't have to come from that to be addicted to drugs or to come here. You can start from like your silver spoon. You can start from way up to living in the suburbs, to having everything, to having a great family, and lose it all. The devil does not discriminate at all. Like, I had a great childhood. It doesn't matter where you come from, that you just gotta keep God on your side. And if you only believe in him, just talk to somebody who does.